Hi everyone and welcome back to WhyDecrypted. Today we have a script by Ben exploring Does the Universe Remember You? This looks like quite a long one, so let's just jump in. What if I told you every moment of your life, every laugh, every awkward first date, every questionable hairstyle decision is still out there somewhere? Not just in your mind, not just on that embarrassing Facebook photo your friend refuses to delete, but actually imprinted in the very fabric of the universe. What if the space you're sitting in right now remembers you? What if it remembers every word you've spoken, every thought you've had, every time you've sung in the shower like no one's listening, when in fact the cosmos was? Sounds like science fiction, right? Like the sort of thing Keanu Reeves would mumble in a smoky room in The Matrix. But here's the thing, it's not just science fiction. It's an idea emerging from some of the weirdest, most bleeding edge corners of physics. The possibility that the universe has a memory. A real one. Not a photo and keepsakes kind of memory, but a recorded, encoded into the raw geometry of space-time itself. And if that's true, nothing, and I mean nothing, is ever truly lost. We used to think of the universe as a massive stage, an empty area where matter and energy dance around for a while, stars explode, planets spin, galaxies drift apart, and somewhere along the way we invented pizza. But that stage, what is it really made of? Albert Einstein, aside from it's very good, Ben. Albert Einstein, aside from having truly majestic hair, gave us an answer. Space and time aren't separate things. They're woven together into something we call space-time. And it's not just a static backdrop, it bends, warps, and stretches when you put matter or energy into it. That's why planets orbit stars, that's why light curves around mass. That's why your GPS is smart enough to know that you're at the coffee shop, but also just slightly late because relativity means your phone's clock ticks differently than the one up in orbit. So, if space-time can bend and respond to what's inside it, here's the question. Could it also record what's inside it too? Think about the edge of the ocean. Every wave leaves a pattern, the wind leaves ripples, a bird's footprints are pressed into the surface. Sand doesn't just exist, it remembers, at least for a little while, what touched it. What if space works the same way, only on a scale so small and subtle we can't feel it? And before you say, well, wouldn't those marks fade, remember, we're talking about a cosmic fabric that's been around for nearly 14 billion years. If it has a way to store impressions, some of those footprints could last longer than the dinosaurs ever did. This is where science starts to get spooky. Not in a ghost in the attic spooky, more like the universe might be creepily good at scrapbooking spooky. The idea of universal memory didn't start with a philosopher daydreaming in a coffee shop. It started with a nightmare, a physics nightmare, called the black hole information paradox. Back in the 1970s, Stephen Hawking made a shocking discovery. Black holes aren't completely black, they leak. Not coffee, thankfully, but energy. A faint, slow trickle of heat we now call Hawking radiation. That means black holes can evaporate over time, which sounds fine until you ask, what happens to the information about everything that fell inside? See, physics has this stubborn rule. Information, the details about the state of matter and energy, can't just disappear. You can burn a book, but in theory, if you had a radically powerful computer and could track every particle of smoke, ash and heat, you could reconstruct that book word for word. But if black holes just delete information whenever they evaporate, then one of the most fundamental rules of quantum mechanics is broken. For decades, physicists argued about this. Was Hawking wrong? Was quantum mechanics incomplete? Or was something weirder going on? Then came the radical suggestion. Maybe the information isn't lost at all. Maybe it's stored on the surface of a black hole in a kind of two-dimensional coat, or even woven into the surrounding space-time itself. And if that's possible for black holes, why not the entire universe? And here's where we get to the really juicy part, the quantum memory matrix idea. Imagine space-time as not just empty nothingness, but as a network of unimaginably tiny cells, about a planck length each. That's 100 million trillion times smaller than a proton. Yes, that's actually the number, not just me smashing the keyboard. Thank you, Ben, and I'm very, very grateful that next to that you put it in words, because I would have not been able to say that. Each of these cells is like a pixel on a cosmic hard drive. When something happens, a particle collides, a photon bounces, the configuration of those cells changes ever so slightly. Over time, the details might blur, the resolution might get fuzzy, but the imprint itself is there. It's like the universe doesn't have a camera, it is a camera. To make it more down to earth, picture tossing a stone in a pond. The ripples spread out, fade and vanish to your eyes. But if you could measure the position and motion of every single water molecule, you could rewind the scene and figure out exactly when and where the stone hit. The quantum memory matrix says the universe is doing that all the time, with everything. Okay, so if the universe is a cosmic scrapbook, a gigantic photo album, what does it mean for you and me? Well, imagine this. Every birthday party you ever had, every heartbreak, every time you ate the last slice of pizza when you thought nobody was looking, all still recorded somewhere in the microscopic architecture of space-time. Not like a Netflix replay you can just pull up on screen, but as a pattern, a ghostly echo in the quantum fabric. That childhood home of yours, it's still there, in a sense, encoded into the universe's memory. The formation of Earth, not just a story in a dusty textbook, but a physical imprint in the cosmic archive. Even the mundane moments no one else ever witnessed, the quiet sigh as you look out the window, the tiniest decision you forgot you made, that's still real. And here's the kicker. If these memories truly exist in the quantum structure of space-time, then every event, no matter how small or large, is part of a universal narrative. It's like the universe is a living diary, writing itself in invisible ink. Now, just when you think you've got a handle on this, quantum mechanics throws us a curveball. You see, in the quantum world, the act of looking at or measuring something changes it. Like when you peek in the oven to look at the souffle and it falls flat, only more mind-bending. So, if space-time stores a memory of every event, what happens when you try to read that memory? Do we rewrite it? Do we collapse it into a new state? Do we change the truth of the past just by observing it? It sounds like a sci-fi plot twist. But physicists seriously consider this. It suggests the universe is not a static ledger, but a journal that edits itself whenever you open it. Imagine trying to read a diary only to find the words change as you glance at them. And here's where science starts flirting with philosophy. If the universe stores every event, from supernovas to sneezes, could it also hold the echoes of our consciousness? Some researchers cautiously speculate that our thoughts, those ethereal mental patterns, might ripple into the quantum memory matrix, not in a ghost haunting the machine kind of way, but as a pattern of matter and energy, just like everything else. Which means, in principle, every idea, every feeling, every haha moment you've ever had could be etched into the universe's memory. Your brain might be less of an island and more like a broadcaster sending waves into the cosmic archive. It's a wild thought, but hey, isn't that the fun part of it all? You might be thinking, Tom, this sounds like something from Inception or Doctor Strange, and you're not wrong. Movies and books have long toyed with the idea that reality is more layered than it seems, that memories, time and consciousness are interconnected in strange ways. Take Interstellar, time dilation, love as a force, the idea the universe can communicate through the fabric of space-time itself. Or The Matrix, the reality we see might just be a simulation or a coded system holding memories. Even Dark, the German sci-fi thriller, plays with timelines folding over themselves, suggesting that events leave echoes across time. I've never seen Dark, but that sounds fascinating. Our scientific theories and our stories are dancing together, reflecting our deep curiosity about memory, reality and existence. But of course there's a catch. We don't yet have the technology to read the universe's memory. We're not even close. The Planck scale is so small, so inaccessible that current instruments can only dream probing it directly. And even if we could, the quantum observer effect might mean that any attempt to measure those memories changes them. Science is brilliant, but it's limited. Some questions might forever lie beyond our reach, tantalizingly close, but just out of our grasp. You might be wondering, if the universe does remember you, what difference does it make? Well, it changes how we think about memory and loss. Maybe nothing we do is ever truly gone. Maybe every moment, every feeling, every choice leaves a cosmic fingerprint. It's a comforting thought. You are part of a grand, ongoing story written across the fabric of reality. And if the universe keeps a record, maybe that means your story matters. To understand why scientists think the universe might remember everything, we need to dive deeper into physics. But don't worry, we'll keep it simple. The story starts with entropy, a fancy word for disorder. Entropy is why your freshly cleaned room eventually looks like a tornado hit it, and why the ice cream melts faster if you forget to put it back in the freezer, which is actually ironically what me and my wife did last night. Anyway, in physics, entropy is a measurement of how mixed up and uncertain things are. Now here's the kicker. When you think about the universe's memory, you're really thinking about how information, order, gets preserved or lost. Enter the second law of thermodynamics, which says entropy always increases. The universe is getting messier over time. That sounds like bad news for memory, right? But not so fast. The black hole information paradox we talked about earlier suggests that information can't be destroyed, it has to go somewhere. Scientists began to realise that the surface area of a black hole, its event horizon, can hold information. This insight led to something called the holographic principle. The holographic principle says that all information inside a volume of space can be described by the information of its surface, like a hologram. Imagine a 3D object encoded on a 2D surface. If that's true, space-time itself could be like a hologram, with a memory encoded in its geometry. This flips everything we thought about memory on its head. It's not stored like files in a computer folder, it's woven into the fabric of reality, distributed everywhere and nowhere all at once. Now, if the universe is storing information like a cosmic hard drive, what's running the show? Some physicists suggest the universe itself behaves like a quantum computer. Unlike classical computers, the ones you're probably using to watch this video, which is true, and the one I'm using to record it, which process bits that are 0 or 1, quantum computers use bits which can be 0 or 1 at the same time. This gives them incredible processing power for certain problems. So, if space-time cells are quantum bits, the universe is calculating, updating, and storing an enormous amount of information at every moment. This means that reality is an ongoing computation, a cosmic video game if you will, with the past, present and future all woven into the code. But unlike a video game that resets when you turn it off, the universe's game never ends, and every save is permanent. If the universe remembers everything, what about time? We experience time as flowing forward, past, present and future, like a river that never flows backwards. But physics shows time is far more flexible than we think. The arrow of time is tied to entropy, and we have another video on that, because entropy increases. We remember the past but not the future. It's why eggs break but don't unbreak, why your coffee gets cold but doesn't spontaneously heat up. If the universe stores a memory of the past, that memory helps define this arrow. The past exists as information encoded in space-time, while the future remains uncertain, a field of possibilities not yet written. So your memories, your history, are physically tied to the fabric of the universe's time arrow. Without that memory, time might lose its direction entirely. And this is where things get really interesting and a little philosophical. If every event is recorded in the cosmic memory, does that mean that your choices are predetermined? Is everything set in stone, like a cosmic CCTV footage of your life? Well, not necessarily. Quantum mechanics is famously probabilistic. The future isn't fixed, it's a cloud of probabilities. The universe's memory records what has happened, not what will happen. It's like a diary, it remembers yesterday, but it doesn't write tomorrow's entry in advance. So even if the universe remembers everything, there is still room for surprise, for free will, and for new memories to be created. There's something quite poetic about this whole idea. The universe as a storyteller, not just of grand cosmic events, but of your everyday moments too. Every laugh, every tear, every late night thought, it's all part of a vast narrative written into reality itself. You might think your story is small, but in this cosmic diary it matters. And maybe, just maybe, when you wonder if you're forgotten, the universe is quietly whispering back, no, you are remembered. So does the universe remember you? Science says it might. But here's the thing. It's still a mystery. We don't have all the answers yet. We're on a journey trying to decode the cosmic memory one discovery at a time. It's a story still unfolding, a question still echoing through the stars. And that's the wonder of it. There's a song in that bin. But let's talk about one of the most mind-bending phenomena in physics, quantum entanglement. Einstein famously called it spooky action at a distance, and for good reason. Two particles can become entangled so that the state of one instantly influences the state of the other, no matter how far apart they are. If the universe remembers everything, entanglement could be a key part of how memory is maintained across space-time. Imagine the universe's memory cells as entangled pairs, constantly communicating in a cosmic dance. When an event happens, like a star exploding or a neuron firing in your brain, it changes one part of the entangled system, rippling through the rest. This could help explain how information is preserved, even when particles seem to vanish or disappear into black holes. It's as if the universe has a secret backup system. No information ever truly gets lost. So we know the universe, or we believe the universe, is mostly made of stuff we can't see, dark matter and dark energy. Together they make up about 95% of the universe's total mass energy content. Could this mysterious component play a role in the cosmic memory? Some theories suggest dark matter might be linked to the structure of space-time itself, a scaffold holding the universe's memory cells in place. Dark energy, which drives the universe's accelerated expansion, could influence how these memories spread or fade over cosmic time. It's speculative, but if these invisible forces interact with the quantum fabric of reality, they might be crucial players in the grand archive of existence. We talked earlier about the idea our thoughts might imprint on the universe's memory. Let's unpack that a little more. Consciousness is one of the biggest mysteries in science. We know it's tied to physical processes in the brain, but how subjective experience arises from neurons firing remains a puzzle. If the universe is a massive quantum computer, and if every event leaves a mark in the memory, then what about the events inside our brains? Could consciousness be a kind of quantum wave that leaves ripples in the cosmic pond? Some researchers propose models like orchestrated objective reduction, where consciousness arises from quantum processes in the brain's microtubes. While controversial, these ideas open the door to thinking of consciousness as more than just neurons, as a phenomenon that connects to the quantum fabric of reality, and maybe even to the universe's memory itself. It's a wild thought, but if true, it would mean your thoughts are part of the cosmic story, forever etched into the universe. So let's step back and think philosophically for a moment. What does it mean to remember? For humans, memory is tied to identity. Your memory shapes who you are. Without memory, you wouldn't be you. If the universe remembers, what does that say about its identity? Does the universe have a self in a meaningful sense? Some philosophers argue that if the universe holds memories, it might possess a rudimentary form of self-awareness, not like a human mind, but as a complex, self-referential system. Others caution that memory alone doesn't imply consciousness or identity. Now that is quite true. Regardless, things about cosmic memory challenges how we see ourselves, not as isolated beings, but as threads woven into the vast living tapestry of existence. And here's the part where sci-fi meets reality. Could humans ever develop technology to read the universe's memory? Right now, we can't see or measure the Planck scale, the smallest scale of space-time, where these quantum memory cells presumably exist. But scientists are working on ultra-sensitive detectors, quantum sensors, and even ideas for quantum gravity experiments that might one day peek behind the cosmic curtain. Imagine a device that could reconstruct events from the quantum imprint left in space-time, a cosmic archaeologist's dream. While it sounds like science fiction, history tells us never to underestimate technology's future power. Maybe one day we'll be able to look back through the universe's memory and witness events long gone, from the birth of stars to our own forgotten moments. So why does any of this matter to us? Because it changes the way we think about life, time, and legacy. If the universe remembers you, then every choice, every moment is part of something bigger. It's a call to be mindful, to live with intention, because your actions ripple out into the cosmic memory. It's a reminder that you are not alone. You are connected to the universe in ways we are only beginning to understand. And it's a source of wonder, a reason to look up at the stars and feel a sense of belonging in the vast story of existence. So does the universe remember you? Maybe. Science is still exploring the edge of this profound question. But as we unveil the mysteries of quantum physics, black holes and consciousness, we find ourselves drawn to a humbling truth. The universe isn't just a cold, indifferent void. It's a cosmic diary, a quantum memory bank, a living story that includes you. And that, perhaps, is the greatest mystery of all. Even if the universe remembers everything, does that mean it remembers perfectly? Well, probably not. Just like your old hard drive might get corrupted or your favourite photo fades over time, quantum information can get scrambled. A process physicists call decoherence, where quantum states lose their delicate correlation due to the interaction with the environment. This means memories encoded in space-time degrade or become harder to retrieve as time passes, especially over top cosmic scales. So while the universe may never truly forget, its memory may be fuzzy, like an ancient manuscript with smudged ink. That also means we, as observers, face huge challenges trying to access or decode this information. But even an imperfect memory is better than no memory at all. What if we could rewind the universe's memory? Could we replay the Big Bang or watch the dinosaurs roam? In theory, if the universe's quantum state contains all information about past events, a perfect reconstruction might be possible, like restoring a deleted file from the recycling bin. But in practice, the sheer complexity and the entanglement of quantum states makes this almost impossible. Still, this thought experiment raises exciting possibilities about history, time travel, and our place in the cosmos. Maybe the universe is a massive time capsule, and we're living inside its sealed container, with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. We touched on consciousness before, but let's dig a little bit deeper. If the universe remembers all, and if our minds imprint on space-time, what role do we play in the grand system? Are humans, or conscious beings in general, active participants in preserving universal memory? Some interpretations of quantum physics, like the participatory universe idea proposed by physicist John Archibald Wheeler, suggest that observers don't just passively watch reality, but they help bring it into existence. In that view, consciousness is entwined with the fabric of reality itself, a co-creator, not just a spectator. If true, that means your awareness, your curiosity, even your doubts about existence are essential threads in the cosmic tapestry. You're not just remembered by the universe, you are part of its remembering. Most of us worry about being forgotten when we die, but if the universe stores every event, including your thoughts, your feelings, your very existence, then maybe we achieve a form of immortality after all. Not in the traditional sense of living forever in your body or mind, but as part of the cosmic archive. I can't personally think of anything worse than living forever. I believe life has a purpose because it is finite. But anyway, your existence is rewarded, preserved in the deepest layer of reality, beyond time and space as we know it. It's humbling, awe-inspiring, and a little mind-blowing, and it might just be the kind of immortality worth aspiring to. Here's the thing. The question, does the universe remember you, doesn't have a simple answer yet. Science is still catching up to the profound mysteries of the heart of existence. But that's exactly why it's worth asking, because the search itself challenges how we see life, meaning, and ourselves. It invites us to live curiously, thoughtfully, and with a sense of wonder. To remember that, in a universe this vast and strange, you are not just a fleeting moment. You're a story, a ripple, a memory woven into the cosmic fabric, and maybe, just maybe, the universe is quietly keeping your story safe. Well, thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey, and thank you to Ben for this script. If you'd enjoyed exploring this idea of universal memory, hit like, share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending ideas, because here at WhyDecrypted, nothing is quite what it seems.